You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
It's Christmas!
What is it?
That is a direct hotline to Santa Claus himself.
I can talk to Santa.
Welcome to your worst Christmas ever. You have $300 million. That's what I want for Christmas.
Santa, are you there?
I don't want any trouble, okay?
Are you gonna help us, Santa?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa?
These bad men, they're all on my naughty list.
Time for some season's beatings.
I'm explaining a film from 2022 titled Violent Night. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy the content. The film begins with the actual Santa Claus spending the night away at a tavern before delivering the presents. He chats with a neighboring mall Santa, who is pleased to do his job, but old Saint Nick has grown tired of the celebration. He jokes that he steers a little, but the reindeer do the most of the job.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
Just before leaving, Santa leaves a present for the bartender's grandson, who is confused as to how he knows about him. She follows him to the rooftop to chastise him, assuming he's just another drunk, only to look up and see Santa riding away in his sleigh, drawn by his reindeer. Just as the bartender is marveling at the idea that Santa Claus is real, he barfs over the edge of the sleigh, landing on her face. Jason Lightstone is visiting his estranged wife Linda and their daughter Trudy in Connecticut. While the two parents want to make Trudy's holiday special, they are going through a difficult time. The three go to Jason's family estate because the Lightstones are extremely affluent. His mother, Gertrude, is an abrasive CEO of her company, while Jason's sister Alva is desperate for their mother to notice her since she thinks Jason is Gertrude's favorite child. She is joined by her dim-witted actor boyfriend Morgan Steele and her obnoxious teenage son Bert. Santa goes through Christmas with extreme disdain, dropping off stuff like money in stockings and other useless gadgets and gizmos. He eats the cookies and milk left out for him but also helps himself to other people's alcohol. When he arrives at the Lightstone residence, he sits on their massage chair. Jason and Linda decide to open one present early for Trudy, a pair of walkie-talkies. When they leave her room, they overhear her chatting on it as if to Santa, expressing that her one Christmas wish is for her parents to reconcile. Jason and Linda are both looking downcast. When one of the mercs, Gingerbread, knocks down the head of security, a squad of mercenaries disguised as staff begins their plan. Scrooge, the leader, murders the guy at the front gate before entering the Lightstone house and gathering his fellow mercenaries to keep the family prisoner. According to Scrooge, Gertrude had hoarded $300 million that was meant to be distributed to the Middle East, and the money is in a vault somewhere in the house. Santa overhears the gunfire and attempts to get out of there, but he is found by a goon called Tinsel. He attempts to beat Santa down, but he rises and fights back.
I don't want any trouble, okay?
The gunfire from Tinsel's weapon causes the reindeer to get spooked and fly off, leaving Santa stranded. In the ensuing struggle, Santa and Tinsel fall out a window, but while Santa is okay, Tinsel is impaled on an icicle. Santa goes to the front gate and finds the operator dead since he doesn't have enough Christmas magic to get him out of there. Trudy then speaks on the walkie-talkie, while Santa picks up the other one in an attempt to summon assistance. Santa chooses to stay when she pleads for his assistance. When Santa returns to the house, another merc, Frosty, encounters him. They have a more vicious battle, with Frosty attempting to knife Santa, but Santa is able to protect himself using his magical bag of presents, albeit he is unable to magically draw out an effective weapon. Santa grabs the star from the Christmas tree and jams it into Frosty's eye, then plugs it into an outlet so that the star electrocutes Frosty and sets his head on fire. When Scrooge tries to check in with his mercs, Santa answers Frosty's walkie and informs Scrooge that Frosty is dead, and the rest of them will be soon as well. Scrooge sends his guys to search for Santa while also taunting the Lightstones. He has his henchwoman Candy Cane, Mitra Suri, torture Jason by breaking one of his fingers using a nutcracker, and then attempts to use a bigger nutcracker for its more literal purpose. Before they can inflict any harm on Jason, Trudy intervenes to shout at the villains, stating Santa is there to aid them, until Jason informs her that there is no such thing as Santa and that parents place Christmas gifts beneath trees and claim they are from him. Trudy flees weeping and hides in the attic as the thugs pursue her. She contacts Santa again by walkie-talkie, and he demonstrates his authenticity by describing the different things she has requested over the years, restoring her confidence in the man. When she describes the wicked folks, Santa checks his naughty list and finds all of their names, assuring Trudy that she has always been on the good list. Scrooge continues to mess with the family by having the adults give Gertrude her gifts. Morgan makes a business idea to advance his career, which Gertrude clearly does not care about, while Alva gifts her with a framed photograph of the day she was born, which Gertrude likewise does not care about. They then take Jason's present, a bottle of whiskey, and a message he doesn't want Gertrude to see. She reads it but then says whatever is on it is private between them. Santa locates Candy Cane and attempts to knock her out, only for a toy Santa to activate and reveal his true identity. She informs Scrooge, who sets out with Gingerbread to find Santa, who is hiding in the attic. The villains knock him out and tie him up, demanding to know who he really is. Santa then drops the villains' real names. Scrooge is Jimmy, Gingerbread is Bjorn, Candy Cane is Kyra, and the things they asked for when they were kids. Because his family couldn't afford to celebrate Christmas after his father was laid off, Scrooge attempted to steal presents from a neighbor's house and ended up frightening their grandpa, leading him to fall down the stairs and break his neck. Trudy makes a distraction from the attic by shooting styrofoam through the vents to produce false snow, temporarily making the baddies believe in Santa and allowing him to use his magic to fire himself up the chimney to flee. Morgan tries to flee by leaping out the window. This happens just as Gertrude's extraction team arrives to rescue the family. Unfortunately, Morgan learns they're working with Scrooge after the leader, Commander Thorpe, orders his men to execute him. Scrooge talks to Thorpe and warns him about Santa, and Santa then sees more bad guys' names pop up on the naughty list, meaning he has more work to do. While Santa is planning his next move, he tells Trudy about his past. Centuries ago, he was a ferocious Viking warrior known as Nicomund the Red, and he destroyed his opponents with his great hammer Skullcrusher. While he has attempted to overcome his deadly tendencies, Trudy urges him to put them to good use. Santa discovers a nearby sledgehammer in the basement and begins pulverizing the thugs, as well as using a pointed candy cane as a shiv against the baddies, just as the extraction squad prepares to rush the home. Trudy sets up Home Alone-style traps in the attic while Gingerbread and Candy Cane pursue her. Gingerbread steps through a broken ladder rung, causing his chin to be impaled on a nail. Candy Cane attempts to get ahead of him by climbing over him, and she manages to see most of Trudy's traps coming, though the girl still hits her with a few bowling balls. One of them rolls out of the attic and hits Gingerbread, causing him to fall ass first onto a bunch of nails. He pulls out a nail, only for one more bowling ball to fall and hit the nail into his skull, killing him. Candy Cane pursues Trudy till Santa arrives and bashes her brains out before rescuing Trudy. Scrooge and Thorpe walk beneath the house to discover Gertrude's vault has been empty. They are enraged and proceed to confront Gertrude, holding Linda at gunpoint until someone speaks out. Jason is forced to come up and explain that he took the money in order to go with Linda and Trudy for a better life and to isolate himself from the rest of his family. That's what he said in the message to Gertrude, hoping she'd see it before comprehending what he'd done. When the villains are summoned, Krampus threatens to murder Linda, Alva, or Bert. The three argue over who should get shot, leading them to distract Krampus so Alva can throw wine into the fireplace behind him to stun him. The three then bludgeon Krampus until Alva sticks a fire poker in his neck. Santa then brings Trudy back to Linda. Scrooge and Thorpe take Gertrude with them and begin to make an escape. More goons show up, but the other Lightstones fight back. While Santa pursues Scrooge, Jason and Linda battle the remaining thugs in a nativity scene. Jason and Linda kiss passionately after murdering the final few guys, which Trudy gleefully sees. Santa pursues the crooks on a snowmobile, killing the remaining thugs before pushing Thorpe off his machine and pursuing Scrooge. Scrooge uses every weapon he has to pierce Santa during their terrible combat. He then comes upon the naughty list and sees his name on it, ultimately persuading him that this is Santa Claus. Scrooge says that killing him will mean the end of Christmas, but since Scrooge now believes, this gives Santa enough magic to go up a nearby chimney, pulling Scrooge with him and causing his body to get crushed on the way up, shooting chunks of Scrooge out the top. Just as Santa feels victorious, Thorpe shoots him 4 times and prepares to execute him until Gertrude, who grabbed a nearby gun, puts one in Thorpe's head. The other Lightstones arrive and try to help Santa. Jason burns some of the money to keep him warm, despite Alva's protests. It appears as though Santa is dying until Trudy tells him she still believes in him and always will. Linda then tells Jason that she believes since Santa rescued their family. Bert, Gertrude, and Alva reluctantly join in, allowing Santa to be resurrected. Santa thanks the Lightstones, who reciprocate, and discovers the reindeer returning with his sleigh, complete with the original Skullcrusher and a message from Mrs. Claus. Santa waves goodbye to the Lightstones and departs into the night to complete his Christmas responsibilities. During the credits, Bert creates a TikTok video over the body of a dead merc to inform his followers that Santa Claus truly exists. That's all the recap, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to give a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support would be appreciated. I hope to see you next time.